Towne Country Grill. You know, it's a restaurant that we started about 4 years ago, but I believe we need to take a few steps back to decide where this journey really started. In 2003, God laid on our hearts to start with meeting with the kids here in Latonia for a kids club ministry. And through that, God brought a lot of people into our lives. And as children came, God kept opening doors for us to reach out and help them. So initially, we weren't looking at it as a ministry or as a program as such, but more of a place where God uses us anywhere that you want to use us. And it wasn't long until we realized we needed more space, more bedrooms, more of everything. So in 2009, a property in Lisbon came up for sale, an old nursing home. And I remember telling my wife, I don't know if we're crazy or not, but let's go see what it brings. And long story short, we ended up buying it, and still wasn't for the purpose of a ministry or a ministry center, but I needed lots of bedroom space. So over the years, as time came and people came and went, we eventually moved on site and have a place where predominantly girls can come and find a place to live, call home, a place to live and have independent living, and yet in a family structured environment. And so after a number of years of that and needing a place for the girls to work, job training, develop their abilities as in the workforce, we realized that to have that, we're going to need to create that. And so that was where Old Towne Country Grill came from, was that vision of taking these girls. Doesn't matter their background, doesn't matter their abilities, doesn't matter what. There's always something to do in a restaurant. It might be washing dishes, it might be scrubbing floors, or it might be serving or cooking. But there's a place for everyone.
Yeah, as a young girl, I felt alone. I felt untaught, uncared about, and had to figure out life on my own. And early on in our married life, Matt started working as a director of a kids ministry, and I felt called to walk alongside of him and work with him. And God brought a lot of girls that needed someone to give input, to speak into their life. And one thing that God spoke to me, the Holy Spirit spoke to me again and again, was that Jesus came to set the captives free and to heal the brokenhearted and to give them hope, to give them life. And I knew how it felt as a young girl to not feel hope, to feel alone, and just all those things, to feel like a prisoner that needed to be set free. And so through the years of working with children and youth, God gave us a real vision, a real burden to give back what I was given, and to prepare a place where we could offer hope and healing and life. And so, like Matt was saying, when we bought the nursing home and turned it into a ministry center, and one of our first things we did was make like small apartments where they could learn independent living, but still have a family environment where they had people to walk with them, to help them, to learn and to grow, and to walk with them through those places of pain and the places where they didn't know how to do life. And like Matt said, we kept feeling a burden to open a restaurant and to give the girls a safe, healthy living environment where they could be taught and trained and use the skills that they have and learn to work with other people, being a really big piece of it, a key in learning to get along and to value their own gifts, their own skills, and what they can give to the world and give to life. And so our biggest goal is for them to meet Jesus and to learn who he is, to find healing and to be set free, and then to step into their gifts and their callings and use the talents that God has given them. And so here at the restaurant, that's a great place to do that. And we have seen some girls go from no skill sets to being excellent at cooking and food prep and just even learning to be faithful and disciplined are really big things that have been huge, valuable lessons that having the restaurant here has been able to provide for these girls. We've seen them go from not knowing how to work with others to being able to get along and communicate, and just really seeing them grow. And so the restaurant has been a real blessing in that way, and we have been so blessed by every customer, every friend that has supported us here. And our prayer is consistently, daily, we gather the girls together and we pray over everybody that comes. We say, Lord, bless each person, meet their needs, help them to know you. And it's also a way, in that way, that the girls can give back to the community and learn to care about other people. It's not just about them. So our vision for the restaurant is not just to serve good food, though we want to serve good home-cooked food that's a high quality, but also that this would be a place where people feel welcomed and feel like they belong to part of a community, and that everybody has a purpose and has value and knows the truth of who God says they are.
One of the things that we find ourselves in teaching the girls to step up their game in terms of work, that you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. And even though Dorks and I feel like we've done a lot of things, we have done some hard things in life. You know, cooking in a restaurant, we did not have any history, any background, any experience whatsoever. Now, Dorcas can cook for 100 people with a couple hour notice, as long as they all eat the same thing. But coming into a restaurant was a completely different picture. And starting the restaurant, the first thing we did was finding a head cook, someone who been there, done that, and be able to handle it for us. And this is no reflection whatsoever on that head cook, but we feel that God used her to get that ball rolling, to get things happening. And the day before we opened the restaurant, God had other plans. And she said, you know what, I'm gonna have to pass on that job after about 4 months of preparation. And we found ourselves looking at each other without any conversation between us. And both of us knew the answer, that we're gonna have to cook. I'm not a cook, she's not a cook in terms of restaurant. But we found ourselves doing what we felt we couldn't do. And that was God preparing us to, as we teach these girls, that you can do more than you think you can. You are capable way above and beyond what you think you can do. And with that in mind, we had to live it. We had to do it. And we both put in way, way more hours than we would have ever imagined possible. I used to kind of laugh or joke about someone who was a cook, and in the middle of a busy evening, they threw up their hands and walked out and said, I quit. I was like, you know what, grow up. It's a job. I found myself pretty close to that a couple times, but I had to come back to the fact that if we're going to push the girls to do more than they think they can, we're going to have to do it ourselves. So that's just one of the examples of what God's doing in our life as we pass that on to them.
I personally can tell all the girls working in the kitchen when it gets hard, I know what it feels like to be the one standing there saying, I can't do it. I have no idea what's next. And so that's a part of our journey, was knowing what it feels like. And it's hard work sometimes, and it's a lot of mental work sometimes. But to find out that we all have more in us than what we thought we did. We can do things that in ourselves we couldn't have, but because of the Spirit of God in us. And if He has a call in our life, we can do the hard things, and to be able to pass that on to the girls, and in the process to care about their hearts. To me, that's one of the most important parts of this whole process. Is it's not just a job, but that they know that as a person they are valuable. Even when they don't know what to do next and they think they can't do it, they matter. And my desire is to care about their hearts and help them push through those hard places to where they know their value and their worth.
So that gives you a little bit of a picture of what is Old Towne, where did it come from, and why are we here? But I would love to invite every one of you to consider coming out, checking out Old Towne, trying some of our food. We also do concession, we do catering. If you have any company picnics or parties or graduations or weddings, we'd love for you to come give us a try. We can give you some ideas of some of the items that we do. One of the things that we specialize in the summertime specifically, is our open pit barbecue. So come on out, give us a try. This is a small picture of what we do and what we're doing, but at the same time, as God continues to lead us, direct us, and open other avenues, we want to continue to walk in that. But we need your help, and we need people to come and eat so that we can continue supporting these girls.
Yeah, and along with that, one thing that we love about having the restaurant and being part of a community in that way is that everybody, you all can partner with us in serving Jesus and blessing these girls, the young women, the young moms that need community. And as you come and support and bless and help to sow into what God's doing in that way, they love to know that they are also sowing into the community, and they are caring about you all, and everybody loves to have a full belly, and it makes a happy heart. And so, yeah, we're really glad for every one of you that can be a part of what God's doing by supporting us here. We thank you for that.
So if you come out, I may or may not be here, but I am Matt Weaver, and my wife.
I'm Dorcas.
And if you see a bunch of kids running around, well, that's probably ours.